Hey guys, before we start today's episode, I want to let you know that we ran into some technical difficulties during the recording. By difficulty, I mean I screwed up and didn't hit the record button on Nick's camera. Also, for some reason, my camera stopped recording 20 minutes in. However, I did record a bit of Nick during the testing, so enjoy his pretty face from this angle while it's still recording. Alrighty, thanks for listening and enjoy episode 13. With that being said, we are live at Tony's Temple. Welcome back to Tony's Temple, where we talk a little bit about everything, a little bit about nothing, and a whole lot of little something here and there. That's what we usually say. Something like that, right? Mm-hmm. So, I'm Tony. This is my guest Nick. This is my guest Billy. Welcome back, both of y'all. It's been a while. It's been a while.
Has been.
Yeah, he hasn't been on the podcast since like my last apartment. I was going to say house, but no, it was an apartment. So, yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you.
Again.
How you been, Billy?
Good.
Good?
Good, yeah.
Construction? Doing good?
Construction's doing good. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
I kind of want to start with Billy. Okay. So I remember this conversation that we had.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I'm gonna pretend that I'm in your shoes, right?
Okay.
All right. So you're working,
Mm-hmm.
right? So you're going into the building.
Yep.
And you walk into the elevator.
Uh-huh.
All right. You're going onto the 14th floor. Did you notice anything weird about the elevator?
Yeah.
What was your observation?
It goes from the 12th floor to the 14th floor.
That's right.
Ever wonder why?
13's an unlucky number.
Yeah.
What makes it unlucky?
13.
13.
That's,
Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
but where did that come from, though? So
Probably Friday the 13th.
Yeah. That movie, you know.
Yeah, the movie.
No. I'm pretty sure the movie came after like all the crazy witch hunt and all the bad stuff. But I did do a little bit of research, and when Christianity had a little bit something to do with it. So when they did like the Last Supper, dinner, breakfast,
Last breakfast. Yeah.
the Last breakfast,
Last omelet.
the Last Supper,
Yeah.
right? When they did the Last Supper, so there were 12 people on the table, and then Judas, you know, the backstabber, was the 13th person that was sitting at the table. So like ever since he came to the table, that was like one example of why 13th was considered like a bad luck. And like for us human, we base like our world around the number 12. So there's 12 hours within the day, you know, in the morning and until it's 12 hours at night. And whenever you sort like anything, the base 12, so you can divide something by 3, 2, 4, 6, 12, and 1, right? So when you start organizing and you add like another number, it feels like it's kind of like weird, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I started noticing this. What? What?
I'm following along.
It's a lot of math.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry.
It checks out.
Yeah. Yeah, I passed 4th grade math. That's how I've ever been.
Isn't the 14th floor just the 13th floor, though?
Yeah.
Yeah, but nobody ever says it. But because here's the thing, like people are affected by like that 13th, because if you believe that the 13th number is bad luck, and let's say you work in this building, you're gonna feel like, oh shit, this whole entire floor is cursed, you know, and then like and then you're gonna be like superstitious, and then you're more likely to be like on edge compared to like a luckier number, like let's say 7.
Can affect your productivity.
Yeah, even though it's just like superstition, right?
Right.
Yeah. So hotels, they do the exact same thing. There is no like 13th
floor.
Yeah. When we went to the beach, I noticed there was no 13th floor either.
Yeah.
So
That's right.
yeah, but
I mean, there is, but it doesn't say 13.
right.
There's no towels in this room. Damn 13th floor.
Yeah. It's haunted.
It's haunted. The ghost stole my towel.
There's a parallel universe where there's only 13th floor. That's where they all went, you know? Like, yeah, it's out of our universe. It's in like another universe. It's like full of 13th floor.
Uh-huh.
You know, in like China, it's the 4th floor instead of the 13th. So it's like the same thing, but the number 4 instead.
Why 4? It's such a beautiful number.
Because it's like, it looks like the same word as death, or it's pronounced the same way, I think.
Okay.
So it's like, yeah, same thing, but with 4.
Right.
So you're not going to see a 4th floor.
In Japan, it's 9. Did you know that?
Mm.
Yeah, and apparently in Italy, like the Italians think that 13 is actually a good luck number.
Huh.
Right?
See, I never heard that.
But do you guys think it's like superstition, or like do you guys think like this is like
Yeah, it's
real?
superstition.
So it's not real at all.
Cool.
No, I mean, it's real because we're not going to have a 13th floor.
That's
But
a good
there's
point.
not a good reason other than it just freaks people out.
Yeah.
But it can be a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
Tony tip advice for today: if you guys ever want to travel on the 13th Friday the 13th, to be more specific.
I don't know.
Hear me out.
Now it's real, right? It's like,
I'm good.
Hear me out, right? Because everybody believes that Friday the 13th is like a bad luck day, right? Nobody wants to get on the airplane, right? And the airline knows that, so they drop the price for like, you know, tickets dramatically because no one's gonna fly on Friday the 13th. So like, and you don't believe in Friday the 13th, that's just like cheaper ticket for you by the end of the day, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
What makes Friday the 13th worse than just a normal like Tuesday the 13th?
Because back then there was a witch, like a little cult, full of like 13 like witches, and they would go out and do like naughty witchy stuff on Friday
night, the girls that get together.
Yeah, it's like girls' night out. It's a typical girls' night out, pretty much. Going around riding brooms and shit, you know, typical modern women stuff. But yeah, it all started off with the witches. They start hunting on Friday, and I don't know how it combined Friday and 13 together, but like, you know, so now we kind of know the story of the 13th, and then we know Friday, and then everybody just associates the two together, kind of. I mean, no one really have like a definitive answer, but I did a little bit of research after you told me that your whole 13th floor. I got kind of curious. So,
yeah,
interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Any other thoughts or anything, dude?
Do you believe in it?
Hell no, I don't believe in it.
So that
makes me want to go somewhere on Friday the 13th now. Is that weird?
No, people do that.
Yeah.
People go ghost hunting and do things to like look for trouble.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, like if I live in Japan, I'm pretty sure people in Japan are gonna go on Friday the 13th like as if it's nothing, right? I mean, like they don't believe it.
Friday the 9th.
Friday.
Yeah.
No, they don't go on Friday the 9th, but they will go on Friday the 13th. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
I think we've got a Friday the 13th this October.
Spooky. This October?
Yeah.
Spooky. Oh, talking about October. What we got going in October? The anime convention.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God, I keep fucking.
You're going?
Yeah, we were talking about it. There's this thing called Dragon Ball Con. Yeah, it's like one of the biggest.
Dragon Ball.
No, Dragon Con.
I keep saying
Dragon Con. He calls it Dragon Ball.
I don't know why I keep saying that. I mean, it ended up being like a joke during a walk. But yeah, it's called Dragon Con. I have this weird thing where I mix shit together. But the point is, it's Dragon Con is gonna be up in Atlanta, so I'm thinking of going. Not gonna tell you what I'm gonna dress up as, but yeah, it's gonna be a little fun. Oh shoot, I completely forgot. Yes, new anime wallpaper and all that stuff, right? Yeah, so I got all this on Virginia Beach on my birthday. And the cool thing is my friends actually got this for me up for like, you know, hey, here you go, happy birthday kind of deal. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, and for those of you that have listened to the previous podcast, thank you for listening. There were some feedback that people were saying that like the wall needs to be like, you know, more something to look at. Right, so I've taken the feedback, I've taken the criticism, and like I'm completely open to like more ideas. So if anybody has any ideas, any feedback for future episodes, like I'm all ears. So yeah. So what do you guys think about this? Like,
these are all your favorite shows?
I wouldn't say they're all my favorite, but I do like all of them. Spy Family is good. Chainsaw Man, can't see from here, but it's actually 3D. Mm-hmm. You get to see like, you know, all the three characters. Yeah.
That looks like somebody from Genshin, but I don't think it is.
Ooh, Dark Magician Girl?
No, that's Yu-Gi-Oh, obviously. The middle.
I don't think she's
the one that sticks out. Like literally sticks out of the wall. I don't have a favorite. Boom.
I'll put her here on purpose right beside me for no reason. Nah. But yeah, man.
Looks good.
I'm pretty happy I got all this, man. Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What about you, Nick? Anything new with you? What's going on?
Not too much. You know, been keeping myself busy, so pretty chill year so far.
Yeah. Heard you playing Baldur's Gate?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you guys?
Rage-inducing?
No, not.
It's not the game. It's not the game's fault. It's the people you play with sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, no.
It's good.
It's a great game. Have you played it?
No.
Bro, whenever you play games like that, dude, it's like you go as fast as the slowest person because you all have to like migrate as a unit, you know. So if you play a game like that, you can do shit within like 10 minutes. But with a group, it ended up being like 30 because like everyone's like fucking around, can't coordinate.
Shit.
I'm not complaining. I'm saying shit like that.
Not if you're playing with James. James is like a race car.
Yeah, dude. He just blows through everything. He doesn't care. He just
Yeah.
skips everything, goes straight to the main point. I don't have time to look. I don't have time to smell the roses.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, when I grew up playing games like that, I would always skip the dialogue because I never cared about the story and just like cared more about playing the game.
Right.
But with Baldur's Gate, because it's like so dialogue heavy, like yeah, you have to like sit there and read or have them speak it out. So yeah, it takes a little bit of time, but it's fun. It's a lot of fun. Because we played D&D together.
Yeah.
Have you played D&D?
Mm-mm.
So it's basically D&D just shipped in a video game. And they did a really good job, like keeping all the mechanics the same.
But yeah, man, like rolling the dice for initiative, and then like you do critical damage, and then there's like a whole story. It's kind of like Divinity, a little bit.
No.
What? What do you mean? It looks exactly like Divinity when I first saw it. What do you mean? What, am I gonna get roasted?
No, you're not. It's the same studio that made Divinity Original Sin 2, and they spent. I think this game's been in development since 2017, so they did a pretty good job at it. It's like the big game right now. Everyone's talking about it.
Yeah.
But actually, because you bring it up, I did want to talk about this. Like, because Larian Studios, the people who made Divinity in this game, they are like a company with like 400 people. Like, it's a pretty decent sized company,
Okay.
and they spent a lot of time on this game, and it's a really great game. You know, everyone's singing its praises. But the only criticisms that, you know, people are upset about or have like circulated online are from like people from other gaming companies, like Blizzard, or you know, like I don't know. That's the one that comes to mind.
Right.
And Blizzard's like way bigger, right? They got all these big games, Overwatch, you know, StarCraft, bunch of games. And those developers are a little upset because they're like, you know, this game's great, but it shouldn't be the standard.
Right.
You know, because Diablo 4 came out not too long ago, and that was like real popular when it came out. No, it was. Like, people were like all about it. And then
give it a month after.
Give it a month. And then, you know, people jumped over to this game.
Right.
They're like, this game's great. And then, you know, Diablo had kind of lost its... So I think maybe a little salt there.
Right.
But they're saying, don't treat this as like the standard. Like, don't expect this kind of quality. Like, this is a unicorn when it comes to like gaming. Yeah. Like, this is its own thing. So, you know...
Stop looking at this great game. Stop.
Exactly.
Look over here, guys.
Yeah, so people are a little, you know, upset about that. They're like, well, that's not the right way to go about it. It's like, you should strive for better.
Right.
So
Overwatch 2 is like the worst rated game on Steam right now.
Yeah, it was never on Steam, but then like when they put it on Steam, it can end up like just being one of the most hated games, right? But the thing is, like with Blizzard, like they are the last person to complain about like good quality game because they haven't made a good one in like how many years at this point?
Pretty long time.
But I do follow what Nick was saying. Like when Baldur's Gate came out, it was like a game that everybody wanted. There was no loot box. There was no gacha mechanic. There was no pay to win. It was following. They were the purpose of the Baldur's Gate was to make like an actual good game. So now the developers are like, oh God, don't look at this, guys. They're actually making good games. Dude, you know, we are the good gamers. Like the same shit happened with FromSoft when what was that game? Fuck, Elden Ring came out.
right.
People did the exact same thing. They were saying like, "Oh my God, Elden Ring is so trash." When like they became like one of the most popular game, and nobody wants to be like that. Or the developers say, "Nobody, don't be like that because that's too much work for us. It's unrealistic." It's like, no, it's just you guys are like being shady, you know, scummy, monetizing everything, and then like you want that to be the standard when it should have been this the whole entire time. You know?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just telling the developer like, "Hey, look. This is how a game should have been made, not like full of all these corporate shit." Right?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I kind of see it, you know, from their perspective a little bit because it's like, you know, Blizzard's significantly larger, maybe like I don't know the number, but I'd say like thousands of employees at least.
Right.
And compared to Larian, you know, kind of small. But Blizzard, even though they have more manpower, you know, it's like, could they put out a game like Baldur's Gate?
So they just a little bit closer to
you know.
Easier.
And I think that's kind of like what they're getting at is like, you know, they probably could, but it'd be a lot of work. And there's like, with a company bigger like that, it's like harder to kind of get the passion into it. Whereas this game felt very passionate, right? Like all these people working on it.
Yeah.
Pretty good. So I think their complaint was more like, well, just because they did it doesn't mean we can do it because we have like a different set of, you know, I don't know, business practices. Like we have like a lot of loopholes or, you know, things to jump over.
I mean, I get it. You know, like I work in big company where he's right. When you work compared to like a global company to like a local company, there's a lot more steps. There's a lot more hurdles.
Yeah.
There's a lot more approvals and like things you have to go through the chain of command in order to get anything approved, in order to get anything started, like, you know, being developed.
But
So,
they did
I
that
mean-
to themselves.
True.
I mean, yeah, they made great games. That's why they're as big as they are now. But it's like, you got piece of shits like, what's his name? Bobby Kotick? The guy at the top?
Yeah.
Their CEO?
I think so.
How the fuck did he get there? You know, somebody said, yes, this is the best guy to do this job. You know? And is that all just based off of money? You know, this guy's going to make us the most money. So let's make him our CEO.
right.
You know? So it's like, and then now you got these great games coming out from smaller companies. You're wondering, oh, how's this happening? You know, they're probably pulling people off of tasks left and right. So, you know, Activision's got somebody working on a game. Move them downstairs today. We'll bring them back up here next week. You know, so like their focus, you know, the focus isn't there.
Right.
Who knows? I don't know that. I'm just saying that could be. I don't know.
I mean, if you're very like passionate about game dev or coding or any of that, like, and you're looking at all these companies, you probably want to go work for the company that has the same values, right? So like, I imagine people at Larian Studio, because Divinity 2 was like a huge game when it came out too, and like, you know, it had a lot of work into that, and that was like their flagship game,
Right.
and this is like now their second like huge hit. So I imagine a lot of people that love that game wanted to jump in and like, you know, make something crazy.
Right.
And it's not that there hasn't been D&D games before. It's not, and you know, people are saying, oh, it's popular because it's a D&D game.
Right.
But it's like there have been D&D games before that aren't on that level.
Right.
This is like its own thing. And you say it looks like Divinity, and it does because it's by the same studio.
Bruh.
But it really does play like D&D. It's actually really, it's actually really like well thought out. Like you can go through a situation, do it like 20 different ways. Yeah, it's really cool.
Who's the developer again?
Larian, yeah.
Larian. I'm
Larian.
sure nobody from Larian was pulling into work seeing protesters outside their office that day saying, hey, stop sexually harassing me.
Right.
You know?
Good point.
They weren't pulling up to work and seeing that and going, well, time to start the day, you know? Like,
So for those that don't know, that's what happened at Blizzard, right?
Activision Blizzard.
It was is it Activision or is it Activision Blizzard?
Activision owns Blizzard.
No, I mean I get that, but so when that happened, was it just Blizzard or was it Activision Blizzard at that time? Because I just know that it was like strictly just like Blizzard. Like I don't think Activision had anything to do with
It's
it.
one company now, so
Right.
it's Activision Blizzard. I don't know who, what, when. I think it was Activision. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
Either way. You know what? I think it was Blizzard. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying, man. I don't know, man. I never really got into Blizzard other than Overwatch, but just watching it, it's like watching a dumpster fire. But like it just keeps on getting worse, and you can't look away from it.
Yeah.
Right? Is that just me?
Well, Diablo 4 was a little tempting for me. Like I almost like
Wasn't it
went
you?
all in.
Wasn't it you that tried to convince me?
I was
What?
asking. I was asking
no,
around.
it was Jimmy. It was Jimmy. It was
Yeah,
Jimmy.
yeah, it was
yeah.
I mean, it was one of our friends. Yeah.
Yo, thank God I never did. Yeah, he played it and he said it was too grindy. I was like, oh, well, bullet fucking dodge, dude.
Anthony and James ran right through it.
Yeah, but
They loved it.
dude, they didn't even talk about it, bro. Like,
They beat it so fast, and then they were like over it. They were done.
yeah,
You know?
yeah. Well, R.I.P.
Sage.
to Blizzard, I guess. I don't know. Anyways, but talking about like other companies, this is kind of related to what you want to talk about too with Linus. The way that kind of just
yeah.
you know about it too.
I heard about it.
The Linus Tech
and,
Tips.
and Nexus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know anything about that?
I do.
Yeah?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah. Did you also spend 4 hours doing a little bit of research?
I spent
40
40 minutes.
40 minutes. Yeah.
Not 4 hours.
There was a lot of people that just like make like brief summary and like that was like the hot topic. So I mean, I kind of got the gist of it.
Yeah.
But I'll let you run with it if you don't mind.
I mean, just like quick synopsis. It's basically like, you know, big YouTuber, makes his own company, has a bunch of people work for him. You know, he does tech reviews, so people send in products, he reviews them, you know, compares it to other products. And like the big issue that came up was he had a product that he didn't really review correctly. Like he kind of treated it like, you know, it was a piece of trash, but really he didn't give it the proper treatment it deserved. Right. And that kind of is what started the snowball. I mean, there were other times where people complain. I don't watch this guy.
Right.
But with that product, like specifically, it started snowballing. And then like someone did like a journalistic expose on it. And then now you have this like former employee, and she was like, "Yeah, that company, I worked there and I left. I never said why I left, but it was sexual assault. You know, like things like that. It was like bad company. These people suck."
I didn't hear about that.
You didn't hear about this?
No, I didn't hear about that.
There was this. I mean, this blew up on Twitter more than like the journalist. The journalist thing was like started the fire, and then she kind of added more fuel because she was like, "Yeah, I left because you know, they were like, it was like a frat kind of business. I mean, it's a YouTuber owned business, so I'm not like too surprised."
Okay.
But she was like, the culture was bad. She was like one of the only women there, and you know, she left because they were like, you know, sexually harassing, you know, doing things like saying very inappropriate things, and she just like did this whole, you know, just Twitter thing about it.
Nice.
And everyone, you know, no one's like saying they don't believe her. Like, it sounds like kind of like, yeah. And then what really put the nail in the coffin was their apology video, which is like right around the time where she like said all this.
Right.
And their apology video is like the most like tone deaf, like, you know, the ukulele lady who did her apology. Like, this is almost like worse because they like still keep in jokes. They like make sex jokes throughout it. They're like, "We're sorry.
They make light of
Here's
it?
our sponsor," and then they like treat it like a joke. Like, they're just treating it like a complete joke.
It kind of reminded me of that South Park episode, like, "We're sorry."
Yeah, it's exactly
We're
that.
sorry.
Yeah.
We're sorry. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but that was kind of the gist of what I heard. I didn't hear about the sexual harassment part. From what I was told, it's like the quality of the content that they output just decreased because they were like overworking their employees, and like nobody was like fact checking some of the stuff. And a lot of people that aren't into tech, they watch Linus Tech for like advice. So the people that you go to for like these kind of like critical information, where you're building a PC, if you get the wrong part, like, you know, you're fucked.
That's what I saw, and Gamers Nexus called them out on. That's what I saw. My part that I saw that.
Yeah.
Gamers Nexus started calling them out, and they started like going through older videos and shit, and finding them like describing a certain power supply.
This power
and,
supply
like,
will make your dick bigger.
But it was like
it's obviously
they were
not
like, "Oh, this is what power supply is," and they're showing a completely different one.
What?
You know, like this is the Corsair, blah blah blah. Meanwhile, it's whatever other brand, you know, like it's completely wrong.
Yeah.
So people are like, "Oh, that's great," going to buy it, and it's not even what they were talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like if you're at a higher level where people are looking up to you for information, you're at a more of a critical like bird's eye view that you gotta get your shit together.
Linus Tech Tips, how I learned how to build computers.
Did you?
Yeah, I've watched a fucking ton of his shit on how to build.
Okay.
I'm putting you on the spot.
Huh?
Did you build your last computer?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, did you? Oh shit!
Yeah.
I could have sworn you bought it from like
We went together.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Me, you, and
Oh.
James, we bought everything at Best Buy.
No, all we bought was like the computer case.
I bought the case. I bought the RAM. I bought the CPU. I thought
you were just talking about like which one to get, and then like waiting.
No.
Okay.
Actually, I had to go pick up the case myself from the Best Buy near my house.
That's
but then
what
I
it
got
was.
the power supply there. Yeah, I built it myself.
Okay.
Do you use Linus Tech Tips?
No, now I know what I'm doing. So
Okay.
yeah, I just.
All right,
Put it
yeah,
together.
I'll put myself out there, man. But I do not know how to build a computer. I know how to get the components, but like to know, you know, the jigsaw puzzle that says this goes piece with that piece. I'm like, I don't follow along with that shit anymore, man. Like I went through high school and college with computer science in mind, but like I never really bothered to learn how to like do computers, because like when I watch Linus Tech Tip and these tech videos, they're saying, oh yeah, this computer can go this fast and this fast, but then like as a user, you don't really notice these tiny little details, you know. Like it's not like technology like back in the day where, you know, it's good to follow technology trends, because like let's say the internet came out, right? So it takes like 5 seconds for a web page to load. Cool. And then next technology come out, oh, this thing gonna take 3 seconds. Well, that's 2 seconds shaved off, right? Next technology come out, oh, it's gonna take a second. Okay, even better. And then like as it gets better and better, okay, half a second. Whoop-de-whoop. It's half of a second.
But listen,
you know, and then I'm like, okay, like why am I paying? Wait, hold on. Why am I paying $2,000 for like saving myself like 2 seconds, and then like, you know, that doesn't make any sense to me anymore. We got to the point where we peaked out on technology where like I don't really notice like these 4K high-end graphics and. You know, that's just me. That's just
Listen,
me.
you're still operating with a 1080p monitor. You haven't experienced 4K 120 FPS on playing a game.
Do I need to though?
It's very nice. It's very
I don't know
nice.
if you need to.
That's what I'm saying.
But if you
look,
wanted to, you'd have to learn how to do it.
what does 4K
But-
GTA San Andreas look like? It's still like
That's
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but nobody's talking. We're talking about like Metro Exodus, 4K 120, The Witcher, like games like that. Nobody's talking about San Andreas.
High def
My
Minecraft.
point. Yeah.
I don't give up.
My point I was trying to make is you do editing and stuff now. You edit these videos and stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
If you had a 4090 in that doing your editing, then you'd be like, okay,
Yeah.
you know,
Make your
I get
job
it now.
easier.
Yeah. 'Cause
What
when
is-
something's I don't know what you call it when you're
Expire. or
no
gets
when you're
old?
letting it what's
Render.
when it's rendering and
Right.
it says, oh fuck, this is gonna take an hour and a half. If you had better stuff in there, it'd be like done in 10 minutes.
It is not gonna be done in 10. Okay, that's
I bet
way
you
over
could.
there. That's
I
bullshit.
bet you
Like a
could.
video like
Shit.
this, probably. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know why it's so hard for me to believe that. I don't believe that, bro.
No, yeah.
Why you think
Legit?
you're paying that much money? You're
Yeah.
paying a lot of money. These
That's
are
a
not
good
cheap
point.
graphics cards.
I get it,
Graphic
man.
cards are like very powerful nowadays.
Yeah.
I get it, man. I probably need to get an upgrade because it does take me like over an hour just to render.
What GPU you
Bro,
got?
I don't want to remember, bro. James built it for me, bro.
Can I get up and look?
No,
real quick?
yeah. Just take it apart while we're recording. No, get your ass down, bro. No,
Let me look.
Oh man, don't look at my baby. Don't look at my insides.
I'll look when we're done.
What? Okay. Yeah, I'll put it in the description too, so that everyone can judge me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta at least try out his build and see like the difference. You gotta feel it first.
Is that the next upgrade? Is that the next upgrade for the podcast? Like a new graphics card? So you guys stop complaining.
Well,
You might need to redo
bit of an
everything. in there.
investment.
How much does it cost?
Like a really high end one,
Yeah.
probably like a couple grand.
Yeah. See, that's
See,
what I'm saying.
but
That's what I'm saying.
mine's not super high end, but
Yeah.
I can do 1440p just fine. I got a 3060 Ti in mine,
Okay.
so it's decent, you know. But
What do you do with it? You play Minecraft?
Cost me about.
You watch YouTube videos? Like, what do you do?
$1,300 to build that whole computer.
Ooh, that's not bad.
It's not horrible,
That's really good.
Yeah.
and it's decent.
Okay.
It's got a little
Yeah.
oomph to it.
Okay.
So, yeah,
What do you do with it though? That's what I'm
I
saying.
play games on
Yeah.
it. I'm not doing
Watch
editing and all that
movies.
stuff.
Yeah, I mean, you can do a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
All I'm
Especially,
saying-
if you're doing editing or anything graphics related, yeah, you should upgrade, honestly.
I'll consider it. I'll consider it. You know, this is not like written in stone, but yeah, once my computer gets to that time where I need to upgrade, I'll consider a graphics card. All right, I'll go over high end this time because you're right, it does take quite a long time to render, and then like whenever I edit the video, it kind of like every now and then. You know what I'm saying?
So, okay, actually, can I bring us back to the Linus Tech Tip thing?
Yeah.
So, actually, now I'm thinking about it, what really, like, divided, I guess, the community about him was the company that sent him their prototype. It's like a brand new company. I think they're called Billet or something. They sent him, like, this completely copper, I don't remember what. But he tested it out, he didn't like it, and this is, like, their prototype, right? And
Okay.
this is the thing that the journalistic guy went over and was like, he should have given it a fair trial. Instead of returning that back to that company, he put it up for auction and people, bought it off of him, right? And, for charity or whatever. He didn't make money.
Still,
So the moralistic thing here is like, he's saying he didn't profit off of this and like he'll pay back whatever it costs to make that. But they're still obviously, upset because they're like, we didn't give you permission
Right.
to sell it,
this is a prototype,
and it's our prototype,
right?
and we gave it to you trustingly, like we wanted you to test it, and you not only dogged on it, but then you just like gave it away.
Yeah. So
you
now,
know, or auctioned it off.
everyone's gonna think like this is like our product when it's
Yeah.
actually not.
Yeah,
Yikes.
exactly.
Oh man.
So it's like,
if you were Linus, what would you do in that situation?
that's what I was getting at. Is it like more of a gray area? Do you think,
No.
or is it very cut and dry?
Very cut and dry.
Okay.
But what
Yeah.
would you do though? Like if you're in his situation?
Well, I mean, if I was me in his situation,
Yeah.
obviously I would give it a fair trial and like not talk crap about it because it's a new company and they're
Right.
trusting me with their prototype. I'm going to treat it, even if I thought it was a bad product, I'm not going to tell people not to buy it, because that's what he did in the video.
Right.
He ended up saying, no one should buy this. This is horrible. This is cool, but it's trash. And he kept saying that. And it's like, I wouldn't do
Well-
that, but I also don't make videos and I don't do daily uploads. And it's like, I'm not I don't know where I'd be in that routine. If you gave me like things I was interested in and I was doing it day in, day out, eventually I might say like, yeah, this one sucks, and not think, about it past that.
Okay.
And I think maybe that's like the mindset he got into.
Well,
which is more of an egotistical thing, right? It's like
the thing is, like, first, it's not a paid promotion, so if he had been paid, then yeah, he would be not legal, but he should be like saying nothing but good thing. But if it's like a fair, like honest review, you can be a complete asshole if you want to. I mean,
I think that's how.
But it's in bad faith. But it's in bad faith to like talk so much trash about the people that give you an opportunity to like make content and like show off the product. So it is in bad faith. So I get that. I don't know, man. I would not put it in auction.
Yeah,
right.
That was the blunder.
Without giving, right? Given, you have to say, and then did he make an apology letter or like an apology?
That was part of the apology video, that like really long video that they made. Like they tried apologizing for all the little things that was discussed, but that was one of the things they also were like apologizing for.
Right.
But I don't know, like whether you watch it and you're like, oh, this is genuine or not, it's like completely up to how you interpret it.
The worst part is that channel's so big that just like I'm sure we're going to talk about in a little bit. Logan Paul, some of them other channels that are massive, iShow, Meat, they're all like, they're so big that they can almost get away with anything.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like this in a month, we'll be done.
Yeah.
It'll be done. Nobody will be talking about it anymore. They'll just keep making videos, keep making millions of views, and it'll be over.
Yep. And that company's screwed. Like, no matter what,
and that
company's just screwed.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's kind of sad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, what do you guys, with that same train of thought, you guys heard about the whole thing with Sniperwolf and the reaction?
I heard some. Did you hear about it?
I think I know where you're going with it, but it was like she was upset about something, but she like does it too, like reaction videos. You're gonna have to explain it.
Kind of, but this is in regards of like when it comes to like bigger channels, like YouTube would just give them the green flag, they can do whatever the fuck they want, they recover, and then like YouTube would still promote it even though they did something wrong. But the point is, this girl named what?
Can I say what I heard?
Yeah, go ahead.
She's been fluffing a lot of videos, right?
What do you mean fluffing?
So, like an 8-minute long video, and she'll have like a reaction to somebody. What I saw was somebody like dunking a basketball, and she's saying something about it, and then like 2 minutes later, it's the same exact clip, and same exact reaction, same exact everything, same 30 seconds, added in again.
Okay.
2 minutes later to get that video to 8 minutes, so that they can get a second advertisement in there.
Yeah.
And make more money.
Yeah, I mean, just to give in the full context so everyone's on the same page. So this is a girl named Sssniperwolf, and she's very attractive. And like, I'm afraid, like, barely nobody said this, but I'll say this. I find her fucking attractive, but I'm not gonna go any further than that. If she is Sniperwolf, I'm Simping Wolf. I love her, dude. She's attractive, but I would never watch any of her shit. But the point is, she make reaction videos where she just find a bunch of TikToks, like really popular TikTok, and then like she records. The video is the video's on the left, her reaction is on the right, and all she does is like, oh my god,
yeah,
wow, and then like do that multiplied by like 8 times 10 for every single video, so like she's racking in money left and right, just racking in, and then like, and the thing is, there's no effort into it. Every thumbnail, it's just her doing this, or like or whatever. And there's a guy named Jack Film that kind of spoke out about it. He was just saying like, hey, he's pointing out like, hey, why is she getting paid so much? Why is she getting away with like pretty much just stealing content? Yeah. And there's no effort, right?
It's like XQC is in the same.
Yeah, it was the JFK explanation video or something like that.
I don't even know. I've been seeing like the more you look at his stuff. What?
No, you're right. I think it was XQC and Hassan. What they did was they were watching this documentary made by this guy that was like an hour long, and they were reacting where they just put like their video, their camera at the bottom corner while the video was playing the whole entire time. So the guy that made the video did not get any of the revenue from watching that. They were watching the guys that were watching them. So like, all the effort that the guy put into it just like didn't even matter because like these guys are like, just reacting.
Yeah.
But
a lot of his stuff, you watch him reacting and he's just like eating.
Yeah.
or he's like doing nothing.
Right. Just playing something else or playing on his
and
phone.
he just got $100 million deal with
Kick.
Is it Kick?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
That's the only other streaming other than Twitch I know.
No,
wait. I thought Kick was like a messenger app. Is that what you're talking about?
No, it's one of them new. Let me look it up real quick. It's one of them new ones. XQC.
Oh, but just to finish my thought. Yeah. So she got a lot of flame.
Yeah, it is Kick.
Like KIK, right?
Yeah, KICK.
KIC. Okay. Also, it's Kick. Oh, that Kick. Okay.
KICK.
But yeah, just to finish my train of thought, she got called out by that, and then she responded saying like, I put a lot of effort into this, and then like, oh, excuse me,
She pulled the "You don't like me because I'm a woman" card.
yeah,
I'm a woman. And
Yeah.
he's like, dude, nobody cares about that. Your content sucks ass. Has nothing to do with you being if you're a woman or a man.
right,
Like we were just talking about XQC. It doesn't matter what your sex is. It sucks.
yeah. But yeah, like back in the day, you remember H3?
Yeah.
See, he like, when he reacted, like that was good content because he would watch like half the clip, or like he would just like make little funny edits, and then he would go on like a whole skit or a whole tangent, and just like that's his form of like reacting, like where you can watch it, you can see, okay, he put in a lot of effort into it. So when I'm watching this video, I'm watching for H3 content, not for the video that he's watching. The video that he's watching was like an add-on that like was the subject he's talking about, but you're there for him and not for like the video. So when it comes to Sssniperwolf, they're there for the TikTok. They can just block her off and like nothing would have changed. But she's profiting off of like all these TikTok videos that she finds online, and then like that's the whole drama going on right now. And then like YouTube's doing nothing about it. They just kind of like, just keep doing what you're doing. Like you're bringing a lot of revenue for us. Like you're getting a lot of clicks, you're getting a lot of views. Just keep on doing it. And then like, so that's kind of where we're at.
Yeah. They're directly promoting her on their Twitter and shit.
They should be promoting Tony's Temple.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
So are you generally against reaction videos?
Well, there's a certain level of reaction. What's fair use? It's fair use, right? So is it fair for you to just take all these content, generating a profit off of their content, with their work and the effort, and the effort that you put into your content? Does it equate? Do you give them the benefit? Because the thing is, when you watch her videos, she doesn't even like put the link of like all the videos that she watches. So the people that she reacts to gets no credit. There's no way any of the viewers can find any of the TikTok that she reacts to. So she's just profiting like mega millions of views every single video, right? And there was this whole conspiracy theory that like if you watch her, she's just like making weird reactions. There's like somebody writes a script for her, and she just like says whatever's on the script without watching the video. So like this whole rabbit hole goes like super fucking deep. Yeah. Any last final thought?
I mean, I don't watch her, so I don't really have anything.
Speed showed his meat. His dangling.
Yeah, I saw that. I mean, I didn't see the meat. I just saw it was trending.
I didn't see it either.
I didn't go look at it.
But once again, he's so fucking big.
Yeah.
Nothing happened.
Wait.
Apparently,
how did it happen?
He was wearing,
not that I want to know.
He was wearing boxers or something, and his video
It was
of his
a slip.
dangling came out.
Is he doing good? Like last I saw, he was like in the hospital.
Wait, who is I Show Me?
I Show Speed. I Show Me was the meme.
Listen,
because of this.
I got I Show Meat from Review Tech USA. I didn't make that up.
Wait, what's his account? I Show what?
I Show Speed. Yeah.
I Show Speed.
Yeah.
Okay, wait. So an accident happened.
Accident.
Right.
Yeah, his wiener came out. Any other channel on YouTube that shows their wiener?
Oh yeah, this was on YouTube Live, right? Not
Something
even
like
Twitch.
that.
This was on YouTube.
Yeah. Any other channel would have got suspended, a temporary ban, something.
Right.
He got nothing.
Damn.
And YouTube actually put out an official statement or something saying like, we're pretty sure it was a mistake.
Right.
It was just a mistake. It's like, oh, is it the 10 million views a video that is maybe
he's
keeping him up?
Right.
Yeah.
So if it happens to like a smaller channel, then we get like no pass.
Hell no.
Probably
Yeah.
not.
No, they would have got in trouble.
Yeah.
Big time.
Yeah.
They get in trouble for smaller shit. So.
Yeah.
I mean, by the end of the day, it's the bottom line that they care about, and then like when people point it out, like they don't do anything about it. That's why a lot of people are getting more upset with YouTube, and like it's not like what it was back in the day. Like everything's about money nowadays.
He was going around false copyright claiming a bunch of a bunch of channels and stuff too, and nothing. He never got in trouble for that, as far as I know. What's his name? Made a whole video on that. I don't remember now. Yeah.
Yeah, if you've not seen I Show Speed, he's got like music videos. He like does a lot of different things.
So he puts in effort is the point.
Yeah, he puts in. He does put in effort. I mean, he's big and he's like super like hyper all the time. So I think he's more like for the younger. Obviously, not our generation. We wouldn't really appreciate it.
Wait, so what do you think? Do you think he should like gone in the past, or because of his? Was he innocent in a way? Like what do you think?
With the I Show Meat. I don't know. I didn't look into it that deep. I just saw it trending, and I was like, "Oh,
you're live wearing boxers."
Right.
Like at a certain point, like I think he's only like what 18.
Yeah,
19 now?
he's pretty young. But
like, you know how big
that's even
you are.
worse.
Yeah.
You know how big you are. Like, don't wear fucking boxers.
Why would you wear boxers on a webcam in the first place?
Well, he also almost set fire to his own house
multiple times.
Yeah, multiple times.
Not one.
But he's a little like I don't remember. I'm not gonna say what he did, but I remember there was like a fire happening on live stream, and he didn't know what to do. Oh, was it fireworks?
He lit fireworks off in the house, inside.
I mean,
and it's like lighting a ceiling on fire. He's like, "Oh, how did this happen?"
Yeah, he's a danger to himself.
Yeah.
But last I saw, he was in the hospital, so I was like wondering about that because he hasn't been in the public eye for a bit. At least I don't think lately. Like he had like a swollen eye. Like he looked. I think people were saying like he had some cluster headaches or something that was like happening. I don't know.
Maybe
like nobody really knew.
YouTube gave him a pass, but they beat the shit out of him in an alleyway.
Yeah, they beat
YouTube
him up.
ninjas.
Yeah, he looked real bad. Yeah, he looked like he was in a lot of pain.
I show you pain, bro.
Yeah.
Bonk. Play the bonk. Bonk. Jesus. Oh man, thanks for filling me on that because like I had no idea, man. That's fucking crazy. Another YouTube shit, right?
The next generation.
Oh, yo, talking about YouTube. Let me get your opinion on this whole like Kevin Samuels thing, and I just want to get y'all's opinion. It's not what.
Nothing.
Okay. Anyway, so there's this guy that I follow. His name is Kevin Samuels, and he passed. And the thing is, when I was growing up, I didn't really have like a father figure. Like, yes, my dad was in my life, but he never taught me like, oh, do this to be a man and all that stuff, you know. And then like when I started listening to Kevin Samuels, that he was teaching like, you know, in order for you to, you know, function and survive in the real world as a man, you have to make yourself like at peak, work as hard as you can. And he was giving a lot of like more value, but the bulk of his content, he was criticizing women and like giving them advice and all this stuff. But that's beside the point. The point right now, the point I want to get across is Kevin Samuel, he passed away, right? And there's no other channel like his, like that they give men advice that say these kind of things that people are thinking but never say. So because he passed away, there's no more new content. So because I like his stuff, YouTube is subscribing to me like a lot of like his content, but there's people reacting to his content, right? So what they would do is they would play the clip and they would just give a little commentary at the end. They would say like, you know, a minute, like, you know, oh, you know, this is my opinion, yada yada yada.
Sssniperwolf?
No, it's not like that. It's not like that. But the thing is, they let the clip play. They let his clip play out, and they make a little commentary, and then I listen to it because it's good listening to him and like some of his old content. But at the same time, like none of the revenue is going to him. But he already passed away. However, if their content isn't there, then like no one is listening to Kevin Samuels anymore. So the point is like I'm kind of on the fence on how I feel about that, you know, because like for example, let's say like, you know, you listen to a lot of Linus Tech Tip, and then like something happened to his channel, and the only, you know, people that listen to his content anymore is like people that react, you know, to his content, and then like you want to hear more of Linus, you know, and then like is that right or is that like wrong because it's keeping his name alive in a sense, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I don't know. It's kind of sad. I mean, because when you say that, I think of this guy I used to watch a lot, and I say that and I can't remember his name right now, but he was like really big in the Super Smash scene. Like every time there was like a new character reveal, like he was like doing a reaction, like a live reaction to it. You know what I'm talking about?
I do know what you're talking about. Fuck, dude. Oh yeah,
yeah, like the.
It was a black guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll put his picture and his name once.
I really wish I could remember his name right now, but yeah, and then he ended up, you know, passing. Really sad.
Yeah.
And like now with Super Smash, like when they introduce new characters, everyone always brings them up. Like, man, if who's here?
Right, the legend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Joy-Con boys. That
No.
was like his thing. That was like his like meme. He was like Joy-Con boys, you know.
Mm.
So he was always making fun of the Joy-Cons.
Yeah, but you know about that guy?
I think I know who you're talking about. Didn't he commit?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so he was going through a lot of like mental issues where like I mean
Etika.
Etika, it was Etika, yeah.
Yeah.
But like and the saying is always true, man. Like the people that seem to be the happiest tend to be like the one that's like, you know, have it the hardest.
Yeah.
You know, so like I really don't know what's going on with him. I don't know if he went through some kind of trauma or it was like some kind of mental disorder or whatever. But I do remember Etika made like a huge impact in like the Smash Brothers community where he was just like the hype. The you know like the positive energy all the time.
But it's like it's sad because it's like I used to watch him and then like it's been so long now.
Right.
And then it's like the only time I see him referenced is when like a Super Smash something related.
Right.
Like if they did like another new character, like his name or whatever would come up.
Right.
So it's like kind of similar to the Kevin Samuels. I mean, not that people are reacting or doing that to try and like
right. It's similar,
different
but like
content,
different.
but the same like past. And then like how do you keep that?
Right.
You know, obviously newer people aren't going to be like going back and watching his old live streams or anything.
The difference right now is like there's always going to be people that talk about Smash like all the like the newer generation. You know, it's going to live on, but there's not that there. Kevin Samuel is like one of a kind. Nobody does what he does. I mean, you can say that like, oh, you know, he gave male advice, he gave red pill, he does this, but like when I'm into the red pill community, but when you listen to like Fresh and Fit and like all these other guys, like they're red pill, but they're toxic red pill. Yeah. They degrade women, they talk down on them, and then like they're pretty much just like being assholes. I'll be honest, you know. Mm-hmm. Like Kevin's an asshole, but he's speaking from a perspective where like let's say I'm gonna give you an example. This has actually happened. Lady, right, called in 10-year relationship with her husband. She left him because of bad sex, and like she thinks that she can just go back into the universe and then like you know a high quality man will pick her. You know, and then Kevin Samuels saying like, "What the fuck? So you broke your oath with your husband, you know, till death do us part for this." And then like he criticized him, and then like when you show Kevin Samuels content to other people, they're thinking like, "Oh wow, he's such an asshole. He's just like breaking this woman down." When he's pointing it out, saying like, "What the fuck are you doing?" You know, and so content like that. So
you should step in and do that.
I want to, dude. Like, Say what?
I was gonna say, like, so these people that are reacting to his content, are they doing him justice?
That's what I'm trying to dissect. I don't know because like I feel like his words live on, and that's the value. But at the same time, is it right? So I'm comparing that with the whole Sssniperwolf thing, where like you're reacting, but it's not really like the same. You know. I don't think it's like profit driven, but I don't know. So that's something that I've been thinking a lot because I still watch like a lot of his like content based only on like his, you know, the people that are reacting to him.
Yeah.
So, and they're getting a lot of fucking views, and there are a lot of those channels, man.
Oh really?
A lot. Yeah. I can name like at least like 8 on top of my head. Okay, 8 is a little bit exaggerated, but the point is they get a lot of views. So, and we talk a lot about YouTube nowadays, huh?
Yeah.
A lot of YouTube shit.
Yeah. Well, what about you, Billy? Did you is there anything else that you want to talk about, like bring to the table?
Just in general?
Yeah.
Okay. So I've been talking to somebody recently about, this is not YouTube related.
Okay. No, yeah, that's fine.
So I think this is on our list.
Yeah. I think I know where you're going with
Yeah?
this. Yeah.
Is it women or men who normally change the most or first in a relationship? Was that the question?
That was the question. Yeah.
Right?
No, I guess another way of saying is like, why do people change in relationship? And is it more likely to be men or is it more likely to be women?
Yeah. What causes people to change in relationships? Is it more men or women that do?
Can we define relationship? Like, is this like
partner?
Yeah, but like
official.
Okay,
yeah.
So not like hooking up and then
No,
friends with benefits. Okay, that's not a relationship. So like official, asked out.
Yeah.
A couple months in, it's great. Honeymoon
Facebook
phase,
official.
puppy love.
Couple months, couple years, doesn't matter.
Okay.
Like,
Right.
But are these okay? And then
It's not a hookup. It's not a hookup.
Okay, but then we have to break it down even more. It's like, so like their first relationship? Are we talking about like people who have been through like, this is my second long relationship, and you know,
What do you say?
I think you're thinking about it too much.
Yeah.
It's just our generation now, relationships. You've probably been in multiple relationships by now. You know, we're older, getting older. You know, like, people are, you know, you're more serious when you're talking to somebody now, I would hope. You're not just looking for hookups. Like, well, obviously there's people out there doing that, but, you know, you're in your 30s, getting into late 30s. You know, you start thinking a little more mature, you know?
Right.
Because I'm thinking, like, I have two people, or two separate relationships. Like, one where it's like the guy, you know, has never been in one. He gets with a girl and turns out she was, like, a little manipulative, a little bit, you know, pushy, and he just kind of was blind to it. So you notice that change. Like, she seemed cool at first, but something was off, and then eventually it just kind of, why is he not seeing this?
Yeah.
And then it kind of makes you wonder, like, you know, what's going on there. And then the other one, it's like, you know, relationship, they've been together for a long time, but then it's like, eventually they start kind of like openly talking bad about each other, and it's like,
right.
So do you guys like each other? It's like kind of weird. Yeah. So it's like, where did that happen? Like, when did this happen?
Let's go with the latter.
Yeah.
Let's go with the latter. Because like I have an answer, but I want to hear your opinion first.
Guy or girl?
Why do people change in relationship?
Why do people in general change? I mean, you get comfortable, right?
True.
It's
complacency.
Like, it's like, I mean, you can even use like a roommate as an example. Like you.
No, go.
Okay.
Continue.
How dare you get out of your seat?
No. It's related.
Continue.
Please continue.
You know, you just learn more about that person, and then maybe things start annoying you, or maybe you do things that annoy them, which you didn't think was an issue because they never really brought it up. But then now, when they bring it up, it might cause tensions. And whether it's the man or the woman that brings it up first, I don't know. But I know I've had a roommate, and after like a month in, I'm like, dude, you gotta not do this. And it becomes like kind of like, unless they're like, okay, I get it, you know, I respect that, you know, it's different. But if they're like, I'm not changing because I don't think it's a big deal, that leads to like conflict, and it's like, well, now I just have to suck it up, or I can make it a big deal, right? And it's when you make it a big deal, that's when change happens, right? Because it's like, I don't want you, you know, coming out in your towel while, you know, while I'm laying in bed, you know, like waking up, right? Come on, dude. Like, stay in the bathroom.
What's up, bro?
You know, and I get you're comfortable, but dude.
I mean, I know you watch a lot of I Show Meat, but like, can we not do that in the apartment? Just do it your own time when I'm not in the house.
But like something like that is like pretty simple. It's like, you know, in a relationship it's different. It's like, okay, if your partner comes out in town, you're not going to be upset.
Oh,
but
yeah,
like,
of course.
Maybe they like chew with their mouth open, and at first you're like, it doesn't bother you. Maybe you didn't even notice it the first few times, or maybe you thought it was cute. I don't know. But then after like a year of being together, you're like, someone maybe said something, or maybe you're just done with it. You're like, dude, this is gross. We're at a fancy restaurant.
Right.
You need to stop chewing with your mouth open, and you maybe say it. Whether you say it like you snap because it's like it just built up over time, or you like how you handle it. It's like, I feel like really changes how people view you afterwards. If you understand what I'm saying.
Okay. Just a friendly advice, not to you. I'm just throwing it out there. One of the healthy relationship advice I can give people is, once you're in a fully committed relationship, when you guys know it's going to be in long term, have the conversation of like, hey, when we get into a disagreement, or when you do something I don't like, or you know, I do something that you don't like, how do we handle it, instead of handling it in the moment? You know, because when you're in the moment, you're not like clearly thinking, like you don't really know how to approach like problem solving.
Yeah.
You know, so like that's just a one friendly advice. Just like, you know, because when it comes to roommate, I get it, man. All like, boundaries were laid and it was crossed, and like, you know, like how do you recover from that kind of deal? So.
Well, and I'm not going to segue into this other thing, but I'll save it for later. This because it involves roommates.
Okay.
Not me, but like going back to just actual relationship, man, women, or woman, whatever relationship. Whoever changes first, I feel like, is usually the one that's like not happy, right?
Sure.
Or there's something like they want done differently. The other person could be completely oblivious, right? Like, I chew with my mouth open. I've always done it my whole life.
Right.
And then it's like, hey, can you not do that? And it's like, oh, now I need to change fundamentally, right? Or do I respect you? And I'm like, okay, maybe I need to change that. I don't eat with my mouth open.
Hey, look.
But I'm just saying, like a very standard, you know, example there. It's like I could see people being upset about it.
I mean, just my opinion. I think typically people don't change. very much. You know, unless like trauma happened or something. And then a lot of time people have identity tied to like who they are, so it's hard for them to change that. You know, because if I change this, then like it would change who I am. Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
I've heard multiple married men now in the past few months say the same thing. So I've been like working on. I'm trying to get in better shape. Right? I've been watching what I eat.
Because you're fat.
I've been watching what fuck you. I've lost like 15 pounds in the past month.
Ooh, yes.
I'm doing
That's really
walking
good.
the stairs, right?
Walking
Instead of the
stairs,
elevator.
Up to the 13th floor.
Working out more. yeah.
Gotcha.
Skipping the 13th floor, yeah. But I've heard multiple married men tell me that, oh, I'm married now. I don't have to worry about what I look like.
Complacency. Right?
Exactly. So it's like, now I've never heard their significant others say anything to them about it. Like, they make jokes about it. I don't know if it bothers them, you know, but that's something like, I guess when you get in a relationship, you need to be aware early on that is this person going to be somebody who, if I have an issue and I say something to them, are they going to like listen to what I'm saying and make a, you know, give it the old college try, like actually make an effort to try to change this and not just be like, oh yeah, all right, sorry babe, yeah, won't do that anymore. 2 hours later doing the same shit. Oh, sorry babe. You know, like,
Right.
yeah.
I kind of get that.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So I think complacency is the key factor.
Yeah.
You know?
And not understanding your partner.
Yeah. Don't get married within the year of knowing them. Like, I
Yeah.
think you need
No,
to spend time knowing someone.
Some people do that, and I don't
Yeah.
understand that.
And, you know, if it works, it works. But
Right.
I feel like a lot of the times those are the ones that end up like, oh, I didn't know. And it's like, well, yeah, because you don't know them.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I get, you know, wanting to get married and stuff, but I think you got to spend time.
I think everyone has their own different reason of marriage. It's just like it'd be beneficial for both parties, right? Just to broadly say that. But yo, let me read you an excerpt that I found my book. Right, it's related to what we were saying, and I remember this when I was reading. I was like, hey, it'd be great for the podcast. Anyways, Crochet is a person, right? Crochet's answer was pretty simple. People in long-term relationship tend to lose their curiosity for each other. Not necessarily in an unkind way, they just become convinced they know each other better than they do. They don't listen because they think they already know what the other person will say. Crochet gave an example of spouses who answer a question of making decisions for each other. They might also give gifts that miss mark, resulting in disappointing or hurt feelings. Parents can make the same sort of mistake, assuming they know that what their children like and what they don't like, and what they would or would not do. We actually all tend to make assumptions when it comes to those we love. It's called closeness communication bias. As wonderful as intimacy and familiarity are, they make us complacent, leading us to overestimate our ability to read those closest to us.
That makes sense.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because when you're with somebody for so long, you think they know. You think you know what they like. You think
So,
and then you kind of.
Yeah. When I heard that, my first thought was, in order to avoid that, I feel like, so by working on yourself, right? No matter what that may be, you're listening to different new music, or trying to watch new shows, stuff you wouldn't usually delve into, or eat new foods, or by keeping yourself on your own toes, instead of being complacent within yourself, you constantly have a different train of thought,
Right.
And if the other person that you're with is also doing the same thing, you kind of avoid that issue, right? Where you're not going to know, oh, yeah, when I come home, he's going to be sitting on the couch watching TV, per usual, doing the same shit he's always doing. Where you could come home one day and he's playing trombone, trying to learn how to play an instrument, and you're like,
Right.
What the fuck? What are they doing today? You don't know,
Right.
I don't know. That's where my head went with that.
Okay, I mean, it's just like
Does
the
that
older.
make any sense?
No, it does. It does. It's just like the older you get, the more comfortable with where you're at.
Yeah.
I remember. Oh God, I hope my manager doesn't listen to this. But anyways, my first couple of weeks that for my new job, right? I used to wear a suit, like full blown. I put in so much effort into it, And then after couple weeks, 3 weeks in, I was like, all right, everyone's all casual. Everyone just doesn't dress as high as I, and I need to tone it down a little bit, So I kind of started way more casual. And then like there are days where I kind of wish like, damn, you know, if I had kept that up, man, you know, like you know how good I would feel and like how people would just perceive me differently, and like just like in relationship in work with your friends, your family. I mean, it all matters. Like it's how at what capacity you put yourself at all time. And here's my favorite quote, and this is gonna be a Tony special. All right, you do not look for the one, you have to be the one. Right? So you always have to be the best person that you can be for the person to find you, and then like when you operate off that mentality, when you go through breakup, don't blame the other person. You always have to look within yourself, and like you have to be better, because you don't have control over the person that you're with. You know, like all you can really do is work on yourself, and like you have to be the one.
I do agree. Like kind of what you're saying is like you have to love yourself before you can get into like a serious relationship.
Yeah.
And
because how do you expect someone to love you if you don't, you know, love yourself?
Yeah.
And I've heard that a lot over the years, because I'm a very complacent person. You know that.
Yeah.
I get in my little hole and I'm comfortable, you know, and I don't want to leave it, you know. But like I'm learning now to get out a little more, you know. If I think it's too late to go do a workout, it's not. It's a fucking excuse, you know. And once I get out there and I do it, I get back in the house and I'm like, fuck yeah, like it feels good,
right?
You know. So it's like that branches to many different things, you know. If you just do it, it's nice.
What was that shit that we watched on the beach? The trash TV thing, where people were hooking up.
Married at First Sight?
That's what it was. Yeah, we were watching Married at First Sight, right? And the advice counselor guy, he paired these people up, right? And my question is like, why the fuck did you hook these two up? They are like polar opposite, all right? One guy's like money, financially invested all the time. He's always worried about money. The other lady's always about spending, right? And when they sat down and talked to him, he was saying like, hey, you know, you're always like worried about money, so you never use that time, your money, to spend time and have fun and have a good time. So you need someone to complement, you know, what you're lacking. You know, so your partner is like filling in that gap of like, oh man, I need to go out or whatever. You know, and then for her, she's always going out. She's always doing this, but she never really worry about money. So like he compliments her.
No, and that's
as well,
perfect.
You know, so yeah.
The person I'm talking to right now,
right?
I won't say her name, but she's doing that exact thing for me.
Right.
Like I'm very, like I just said, I'm in my hole, but she's very like go getter.
Wait,
you know, like. Huh.
Okay, so curious question. Which, in your opinion, which one's better? Dating someone that has more similarity to you, or someone that's like less similar to you?
Similarities are good. Like we have a lot of similarimes.
Right. But I'm talking about in like a significant other.
Yeah. It's me.
Tony was a girl.
No. So me and her,
be a girl you want.
Me and her have a lot of similarities, but we have a lot of differences too. You know.
Right.
So it kind of works out. She's got a lot of hobbies. She does a lot of stuff. She's very talented.
She does a lot of like random shit. She's just calling you like, oh yeah, you know, I'm doing modeling. Oh, you know, I'm swimming. Oh, I'm going this.
I'm the complete opposite. You know, you'll before her, you know where I'm gonna be. I go to work, I go home.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm chilling.
Couch potato.
I'm playing Skyrim. Yeah, I'm couch potato.
High def Skyrim.
High def, 4K, 120 on the powerhouse PC, baby.
$2,000 graphics card. Yeah, I got this from Linus Tech Tip.
Yeah. So I don't know. Yeah, it's a good thing.
Right.
Yeah. But the thing is, I'm willing to listen to what she has to say to me.
Yeah.
So I'm sure there will be. I think I already told her. I said, listen, there's gonna be times where I'm getting complacent, you know, and I want to get back in my comfort zone. But I feel like she would definitely be like, "Hey, asshole," you know, like
get your ass up.
We're not doing that anymore, you know. And I'll be like, "Oh shit, okay, yeah," because now I know what it feels like to step out of there, and it feels good. So I know.
Oh God, I wish I could remember where I heard this from, but like the whole point of life is to get out of your comfort zone. You know, so anytime you can get like do that, like that's how you grow as an individual. So
the lobster in the shell.
Huh?
I sent that to the group chat the other day.
Oh, that was you?
The lobster in a shell.
Oh. So
the lobster is a very mushy animal, right? Hey, have you heard this before?
No.
The lobster. Why you?
I'm just laughing.
So
that's weird.
A lobster is a very mushy animal. You pick it up, it's got a hard shell, right?
Mm-hmm.
That shell just protects what is ultimately its mushy, soft body. So as it gets bigger and grows, it grows out of that shell. So it has to go find under a rock somewhere to hide while it breaks off that shell and grows on a new one. But it's that uncomfortability of that shell that allows it to find somewhere to break out of the old shell and put on a new one, you know? So it's the same thing with us, you know? We get uncomfortable, that's an opportunity to learn.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Bang!
Play sound effect.
Something about the who changes first. I think...
Is it men or is it women?
Yeah, well, I think that's actually like the biggest factor as to why people break up is because people change. And when, you know, like, I feel like I hear a lot of the times it's like, they're not the same person that I fell in love with, or they're not the person that I agreed to be with. You know, look at them now. Now they're doing, you know, they used to be so active, now they're lethargic. You know, things like that. You know, whatever change that they think is bad.
Yeah.
But I think what makes the relationship work is like, no matter what, and you say you don't think people change too often. I think the opposite. I think people do change. Whether you know it or not, I think people will change over the course of their life. It's like you're not the same person you were like 10 years ago, obviously, for obvious reasons.
But
like,
is it for the worse or for the better?
Right.
But
because nobody's going, damn, Jim works out too much now.
Yeah.
He looks too good.
He's too buff.
Damn. I hate that. I'm
Versus,
leaving.
oh, you don't work out. Look at you, you freaking slob.
Well, you know what? I'm sure there's people who do that though. You know, so I
Exactly.
guess it's who the fuck knows.
But
you know?
but what makes it work is like anticipating the change, but also being like, okay, you notice something's different. How do you compromise and go, you know, hey, I notice you go out all the time now. And, you know, you hang out with your friends and you're like going out. And you used to not do that. You used to just stay at home.
Right.
But now you're like constantly going out. And I just, you know, there's a compromise there. It's like, is there something we can do at home together? Can we go out together? You know, rather than just like getting, oh, they changed. They don't want to hang out with me. You know, and then you just build up that resentment.
Right.
And then that ends the relationship at some point, because then it's like, I'm not going out because you're making me mad that you do it all the time.
Right.
And you used to not. And, you know, I want you to stay home. Versus, well, maybe we can do it together, or maybe you can stay home sometimes, and then that can be a discussion. Like, compromise is the biggest thing of whether the relationship works or not.
Okay. I read the attachment theory, like this book called Attach, and we was going through attachment theory, and one of the things that was talking about is like whatever the issue you're talking about, and the example that was given in that book is, let's say that I don't know, the wife used to do laundry, now she doesn't do it anymore. For example, and then like the husband would get mad about, oh, you don't do the laundry anymore, and then the wife was saying like, well, I don't really do the laundry anymore because of this, and yada yada yada. But the point is, it's never about the laundry. It's about like the layer beneath that, because he wanted to do laundry with her like they used to, but then like she kind of just stopped doing it, and he was like seeking intimacy, seeking closeness to her. So it wasn't about the laundry. So whenever you have an issue with like your significant other about something, there's always like the bottom layer is the either like the lack of communication or the lack of understanding of what you guys are truly asking for, right?
Yeah.
And to answer your question, like, do people change? My response to that is I was listening to this like divorce lawyer, so he deals with a lot of divorce, right? And he was asking this lady one time. He said, "How at one point, how did you know that he stopped loving you?" And she was saying that, back in the day, he used to do like a lot of like little sweet stuff. I mean, and like whenever I'm down, he gets me like a Snicker bar. He would do those little stuff, and like even though it's so little, like it brightens me up, like it always make me like happier. And then like he knows that, right? And as the relationship goes on, he stopped giving her the Snicker bar, and then like that's when she started feeling like, oh my God, something's changed. But she would never able to know about it until the relationship was over. But that was like the tiny little thing. It's always the tiny little thing that causes like the breakup. And there was the other relationship. So he was trying to get a conversation from the other side perspective. So he asked this other lady, at what point did you know that you stopped loving him? And she said, well, I used to give him blowjobs in the morning, and then like it was cool, but then like after a while I kind of stopped. And then like it's always like the little thing. I mean, it's a lot bigger than that, because I know that's a lot of effort that people do, but to her she said like, oh, it was nothing, and then like she stopped doing
blowjobs. what did I get
Every
myself
morning at
into?
wake up.
Damn it all.
She said it, bro. She said it, but like I get it. You know, what I mean, this, you know, we're laughing about it, but at the same time, like, you know, the idea is still the same. It's always like the little stuff, you know. So people do change, and
One morning he woke up and looked down and was like,
Wait, something's happening. Something's wrong here.
and she's not there. She was saying.
What did I do? Nothing. There's no issue.
She was saying that like he would look so happy, like life just got reinvigorated, and then I was like, well, duh, like what do you mean? You
She
know?
had the power, man.
Yeah.
She took it away.
oh, Jesus.
Yeah, man. I mean, people change, and you have to be more aware of like the little stuff than it is the big stuff. And I don't think it's gender based. But what you should acknowledge is men have a different way of showing it than women, and women have their own ways of showing that, like, you know, they lost interest, and men also have different ways of like showing they've lost interest as well. So for me, I value relationship in my life, and I that's like my personality in a sense. So like, what? Oh, you want it?
The bromance.
See, I can read his nonverbals. See?
Yeah.
See,
I don't really know
I'm good
what's
at
happening.
Yeah. It's only something only we understand.
Because people say,
Are you still single?
Huh?
What?
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 Sorry, Tony.
Because people say
I moved
communication is key, which is true, but they never really like go into detail as to what that really means.
Mm-hmm.
And I really think it means like you should talk, but it shouldn't be like ultimatums. And I feel like that's where a lot of people take it. They're like, these are my lines, these are my deal breakers. You cross them, it's over. That's not communication. That's like communication is, hey, you know, let's work on this. I'm willing to give this up if you give this up, and we can do this together, whatever it is. But that's where I take communication.
Yeah, just expressing what's on your mind in general.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
know,
just express it.
I know that you're having issues with that too, but I know you're working on it. So good
Well,
on you.
yeah, because I almost lost what I got right now because I was not saying anything to her.
Right.
You know, I was just like, I was making assumptions.
Right.
You know, we talk about something, and I'd go, well, this is the situation in my head, you know? And then I'd stress for a fucking week about it. I'd be like, oh my God. Meanwhile, it's not even what's happening. So then I talk to her, and she's like, oh yeah, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, shit. You know, I'm like, damn, I could have known this a week ago if I would have just said something.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stupid.
I mean, shit like that happens, you know. And the thing is, you kind of have to grow as an individual and try not to make the same mistake, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Dude, I
for
have
sure.
out of respect for the podcast, I'm not gonna walk up and get it, but I do have a tiny little notebook that I try to read, and like I take down notes on, you know, relationship advice that I find to be very useful in my life. And like one of the things I remember writing, I don't remember the full details, but it's called the 4 horsemen of like the apocalypse in a relationship. And I remember contentment and stonewalling are the 2 horsemen, you know. And when you start becoming cold, you start like, you know, distancing yourself from your partner, or you're feeling like your partner's not good enough. That's, you know, those are the 4 signs you pretty much be aware of.
What's stonewalling?
Stonewalling is like, hey, you want to go to church? It's like, no, I don't want to go. Please, can I go? Like, you want to go with me? No. Like, you just kind of like shrug it off, kind of like, no, just like, no, I'm not budging.
You're stonewall.
Yeah. Hence is why it's called stonewalling.
You want to go to the anime convention? Nah, I'm good.
Yeah. Why? Nah, I don't want to go. You know.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, just being cold,
Okay.
pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm curious what the other 2 are now.
Should I grab it?
I mean, if
I
you
feel like you brought it up.
If you don't remember.
Let me go find it. Give me a second.
All right, so Billy, let's take over the podcast.
All right, guys. Now we're gonna talk about
It's a little hot in here. Are you sweating?
No, it is actually pretty hot in here.
So take off all
Hey,
your
Tony, hit that thermostat while you're out there.
Bro, I already hit the thermostat, bro.
Oh, I mean,
Like- Perspiring. Got a little bit of a sheen on me.
All right.
I see Tony's like he's got his hair all drenched in sweat.
Okay. I found the page. Avoid the 4 horsemen of divorce: contentment, criticism, stonewall or withdrawal, and defensiveness. Hold on, I'm trying to see what else.
was that
Wait, no.
Contentment, criticism,
Stonewall is another withdrawal is another word for Stonewall. Is what I'm saying. That I have
Wait
it
a
in.
damn minute.
I have it in.
Okay.
Stonewalling,
Criticism, stonewall,
Contentment.
contentment, and defensiveness.
offensive.
Yeah, I could have sworn there was a page where I wrote like what each one of them is. I can't seem to find it. But it should have been like literally the next page.
Remember.
But yeah, dude, I got like pages upon pages, just pages.
How many relationships you been in? Holy shit.
There's like stages of love: the romance stage, the power struggle stage, stability stage, commitment stage,
Tony's
and then
out
the
on a date.
creation
He's like, I gotta use the bathroom. He pulls up the notebook.
What would Tony say?
You were in the steak, page 42. Halfway down. Steak, medium rare. Okay.
She didn't want an appetizer, which...
That means I need to leave now.
Oh man.
Swift exit.
Shit, man, there's so many random ass shit in here, bro.
That's a lot of notes.
Don't try to be her everything. That's impossible. No one can be everything to anyone. That was a good one that I took. You know, when you're in a relationship, your significant other thinks like, oh, I can go to you for anything. I don't think that should be the case. No, that level of responsibility should not be on one individual. You know, because like if I have financial issues or whatever, I'm not gonna go to like.
I think you should be able to, but should you necessarily?
No, you shouldn't put the point is you shouldn't put that level of responsibility on like them being your everything, because that's too much responsibility and too much pressure for one person to handle. For example.
Why we got the boys?
You know, yeah.
You know?
Because like I was telling him this, my friend Jimmy, he's really good with finance. If I ever have a financial question, I'll go to him. But I wouldn't go to him for like relationship advice. Not saying anything about that. It's just that's not his forte.
What?
That's not his forte.
He doesn't have a.
That's not his forte. That's all I'm saying.
98-page notebook.
Yeah. Does he
Filled
have?
with relationship advice.
Does he have anything written on the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse
Yeah.
of the divorce? Yeah,
He just
I didn't
doesn't
fucking
get
think
Name
so.
one horseman, Jimmy.
Yeah.
Just one.
4 horsemen for finance. He's got that book.
Spending too much, not investing.
Dogecoin.
yeah.
McDonald's.
Yeah, McDonald's.
Oh man. Oh, this could segue to what you want to talk about.
The roommate stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so kind of on the same vein of relationships, but like more like the buddy relationships we come up with, you know, between us, whatever. Topic I was thinking of was, you know, how do you recover from like a bad fight with like one of your bros or whoever, like
No
someone
ladies.
that you've.
No ladies, just bros.
We can have ladies too. Like,
No. Let's make it specific.
Okay.
I said let's just
All right.
bros because like
Okay,
that's,
just bros.
that's two totally different topics.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Well,
Do we
yeah.
agree?
The example I'm thinking of is just a bunch of guys.
Okay.
So like, you know, have you ever had to like cut off a friend like from your life because they were just like you just couldn't get along with them after a certain point? It's like you were
I
just
did that
constantly
recently
fighting.
for like
Really?
a month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Couldn't get along with them.
Somebody within our group,
Oh.
maybe a year ago, straight
okay.
up quit talking to him for a
I-
month.
I
I
thought
just
you-
was not happy with the decisions he was making.
I thought
But you
were
eventually
talking about
like-
are
I'm
talking to him like it's resolved at this point. Would you
So
say?
there, 100,000%. Yeah.
Okay.
But it was like weeks where I didn't say a word to him. But then that hurt.
Yeah.
I missed him.
Yeah, it does
you know?
hurt. Yeah.
So like I just called him one day and said, "This is what's bothering me." Bang, bang, boom, boom, and we just had a genuine conversation, and then it was
Smooth
it
sailing
was
after
done.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, so what condense all that into like a short answer? How do you handle a situation where you're beefing with a homie? Is that a good way of saying that?
Well, yeah, he called him and
Yeah.
they talked about it and it sounded like he was willing to listen. And
Same thing
yeah.
as we've been talking about this whole time.
Yeah.
Conversation,
Versatile.
communication.
So
you know?
like, have you ever had like a friend just completely like just wrong you, just like out of left field, just like you feel like you were stabbed in the back?
yeah.
And how do you do you think you can recover from that, or is that just like
I
that's a
don't-
bad person?
I got somebody do that to me, and I don't talk to them.
Okay, so
Period.
yeah, and I think that's usually what ends up happening.
Rarely on occasion, we will call and talk to each other.
Mm.
But I know what kind of motherfucker he is now.
Yeah.
So I just don't fuck with him like that.
Yeah.
And that hurts too because I thought he was so nice. But he's special. But he's also like an alcoholic, so that doesn't help.
Mm.
He's a heavy drinker now. So it's like I know what he's like when he's not drinking. Completely different person.
Yeah.
Like, we were great friends. Now he's drinking. You know, and he was my roommate at the time. He was living in the house. And I don't drink, you know? And I knew he was drinking. He was being freaking weird, fucking shit up in the house. I could hear him at night, screaming, yelling. And then finally I was like, you got to get out of the house. Get out of here. Yeah. So I'm cutting the lawn one day after he's gone, and I'm like, what's that? Pick it up. It's a bottle of vodka. And I'm like,
I remember you
just out on the
outside.
Yeah.
So I call him. I go, hey, asshole, you know I don't drink. I just picked up half a bottle of vodka outside. He goes, yeah, well, you told me I couldn't drink in the house, so I wasn't drinking in the house. And I'm like, that's a real piece of shit person.
But you guys were like cool before that.
Before that, we were cool.
Yeah.
But then he started drinking and became an asshole. He got the demon in him, you know? But that's, I think that, I don't know, I think that's also just a tell. Like, you know, that's something that's not only the booze, that's just what kind of person they are, you know?
Right.
Oh, you told me not to drink in the house, so I wasn't drinking in the house. You know, it's like, okay, but you were drinking at that house.
Yeah.
You're an asshole.
Trying to pull some
You know?
string, do some loopholes, and be manipulative.
Yeah.
These kind of qualities are like, nah, this is not where you want to be.
Yeah, you drink outside, get drunk, come in the house. Like, you're doing the same shit. You know you are.
Right.
Yeah,
I feel like roommates have a lot of this kind of situation occurs where it's like, because it's almost like you're kind of obligated to be friends in a way, or even that's why they say don't be like roommates with your friends.
Right.
Like don't move in with your friends because that typically ends up in a bad, you know.
Well, I'm still friends with my roommate.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't happen all the
previous
time. I'm not saying it happens.
Right.
Like some people are chill, like it's cool,
Right.
but then sometimes it's like, yeah, like this situation just it can
Dude,
happen.
Listen, me and my buddy Gavin, high school friends, right? We're like, bro, let's get an apartment together, bro. Yeah, first apartment, right? Yeah, bro. We got this apartment. He's taking out the trash all the time. He's like, you need to take out the trash. Okay, I'm taking out the trash all the time now. I'm like, dude, you need to take out the trash. And then it turned into like, fuck you. Well, then fuck you. I'm not taking out the trash. We let that trash pile up so high in that fucking apartment. Like, neither of us, both two stubborn bastards, never took that fucking trash out for like a month.
Yikes.
I mean, this apartment was rank,
God.
stanking, flies everywhere, and we're both just sitting there like, I'm not taking out the trash, you know? And then eventually we both like met each other in the hallway one day and we're like, let's take out the trash, you know? But we like, yeah. But that was another situation where we just ended up fucking hating each other.
Right.
But years later, we got in touch again. It was like, hey, man, how you doing? You good? Yeah, I'm good, bro. It was like, cool, man. Nice to hear from you, you know? And then we talk every once in a while now. But it was like, yeah, that living together, we almost got in a few fist fights. Just butting heads. Like, just...
Boys, man.
Yeah, but that living together is a whole different scenario.
Right.
It really is.
Yeah, you don't really know somebody until you actually like, live with them. You know?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But to answer your question, hold on, what was the question again? What would you do if? Oh yeah, okay. Now I remember.
I don't remember my question.
How do you
resolve a situation?
Yeah, is that even salvageable at that point? Can you get back to where you were?
But are you talking about somebody that really does you dirty, or just kind of like, I don't like
someone who really does you dirty?
Maybe my memory is fuzzy, but I don't think I've ever dealt with someone where they backstab me that hard, whatever. But I noticed that whenever there's like tension, you know, like on a line graph, it always goes up and up and up and up and up, and then like once it hits the peak, something happens, and then it immediately goes back down. It never goes like, it never smooths out. You know, it's always. But for me, I think that's more common with like boys. You know, and my advice is like, be boys, beat the shit out of each other. You know, I'm being dead ass serious. Like that's one way to like get it out of your system. Either that or like come to an understanding. And what you need to focus on is, do I want a long-term relationship with my friend, or do I want a short-term relationship? Because how you view that relationship will guide your brain to the to the result.
Saying that they really did you dirty,
and then they like call you up.
Again,
and like,
no,
I'm
again,
sorry.
Again,
It's like, are you really?
The context does matter. So if you as an individual are willing to, you know, recover that long-term relationship, but again, it's a choice. You can choose to do that, or you can choose to drop it off. You know, but whatever your mentality is, it will guide your decision. It will guide the way you handle the situation in the future. So whenever that happens, you know, I ask myself, do I want to be a long-term relationship with this friend of mine? And I kind of go from there.
See, we're all boys. I would never do any of y'all dirty.
Yeah,
like
we're too old for that shit. We're way too
old to do it.
We're way too old for that
never.
shit. Bro, like the older we get, man, the harder it is to find like genuinely good friends.
Yeah.
You know, like, so why would you fuck that up? You know, and was it this past weekend? It was my birthday, by the way. I'm turning 30 dose. 30 dose. I turned 32, but I reconnected with like my middle school friends, and it was like a breath of fresh air. These people got their shit together. They weren't like, you know, just going home getting drunk all day. These are people that are happy relationship. They, you know, they're positive mind. They're doing well in life, and like it's great to be around like these kind of people. And they got me all this stuff for me.
What are you trying to say, man?
What?
What are you trying to say? Real breath of fresh air, huh?
No, I don't think it's
You're being complacent.
Yeah. Why didn't you communicate this with me? You should have told
laundry?
You should have told me I was suffocating you.
I'm gonna stonewall him now. Yeah. no, but in all seriousness, they got me all these posters and stuff, and like, you know, it's I'm blessed, you know, to have these kind of friends that are willing to get this for me, spend a good time together, you know, and like that's what life is about. You know, life is about people. Life is about like a relationship, and then like people need to learn to realize that sooner rather than later. You know, because some people don't value that. People think like, oh, I can be like 50 years old. I don't need family. I don't need a relationship. And I'm like, nah, dude, no, that's not how you should look at life. If anyone say that, trauma. At one point in their life, more likely related to their
trauma.
I'm serious. I'm being dead ass serious. That's what it is. Yeah. Yeah, boys, it's already an hour and 30, man. I lost track of fucking time. Jesus Christ.
Well, okay, so sorry, I completely forgot I was going to tell a story.
Yeah.
So put yourself in this situation, and then really, really try to think, is it salvageable?
Okay.
Say you've got a friend for 5 years, you move in together, he owns the place, and this is a real story. This is like actually happened. So I'm putting you in these people's shoes. He's like, hey, you know, I'll give you like $100 off, like if you come and pay like rent, live here, if you can find like a roommate and have them pay as well. Like that's the only like thing to our agreement. Everything else, like we're chill, we're buddies, we get along. Sure, you find a roommate, so you bring Tony to your friend's place. Okay, you guys are living. 2 years go by, no issues, loving it. Everyone's happy. You know, good time. You all have the same hobbies. You know, you're all hanging out. You all respect each other's boundaries.
Okay.
COVID happens. Something happens, right? Yeah. This isn't even like an intrinsic change. This is an outward change affecting this relationship. COVID happens. Your friend who owns the place really freaked out. Like, freaked out about COVID. Like, this guy's like a doomer, right?
Okay.
I mean, a lot of people, like, it makes COVID was scary, right?
Yeah.
So he's like, no one's allowed to go out. No parties. You know, it's like getting closer to Christmas time. He's like, you're not allowed to go home and see your family. Like, I'm putting these restrictions on you.
See your family.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is what he said.
Get back in the cage.
Exactly. He's like, I'm dead serious. This is what he did.
Yikes.
And they agreed. They said, we get it. COVID, we don't know what's going on. Like, we understand your concern, and we don't want to give COVID to anybody. We don't know the outcome. Like, we didn't. There's no vaccine at this point. This is right at the peak of when COVID was like deadly and people were like scared. There's the death clock.
Okay.
So everyone agrees. This guy who told you no leaving, no going out, sneaks out to go to a party, breaking his own rule, gets COVID, brings it home, and gives it to everybody.
Oh, dude. Yikes.
And Tony is the third party here, your friend that you brought to live. Like, he's only known this guy for 2 years at this point, living with him. Absolutely livid, right? You probably going off on this guy. This is what happened. The Tony in this situation is going off on your friend of 7 years at this point. And there's an argument happening. And, you know, it's like, you told us we couldn't go, but you didn't, and, you know, and all this. So obviously it's a big argument. So the guy says, you know what? Fine. You're evicted. Leave.
Dude.
You, as the friend, like, you're the middleman here. Like, there's only really two paths. Do you stick with the guy that you've known longer, or do you, like, no, I'm going to be with Tony. Like, you can't just evict. Like, he's got reason to be upset.
No.
And that's what he did, right? He took Tony, like, the Tony side. He said, no, you can't evict him.
100,000%.
Right.
And his friend said, okay, you're evicted too. And kicked them both out.
Okay.
Fuck it.
Yeah.
Adios.
And that was it. That was the end of the relationship. You know, never talked to that guy again.
See, that's something where, like,
hell no.
I would call that guy, like, a year later and be like, hey, man, so, how you feeling out here? What happened?
No,
I'd be like, no, but I would be like, you fucked up, right? Like, do you get that now? Like, have you reflected on that? You know what you did?
You would see if they,
and if he was like, if he was like, yeah, dude, like, I fucked up big time.
Because maybe pride is keeping him from saying, like, I fucked up. I shouldn't have did that.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. Maybe that's too much credit, right?
I don't know, man. Apology can only go so far, but when you kick somebody out and they have no roof over their head because of you...
Did he say anything to them after they were gone? Like,
no.
Did he ever, like...
No.
I fucked up, I'm sorry.
Everything they heard after the fact has been, like, from third parties. So it's, like, muddied waters. But they're like, yeah, he's telling people he kicked us out because we weren't paying rent. Like, just making up lies.
Oh.
Right? He wasn't telling people the reason.
Fuck that guy.
Yeah, exactly. So at that point, it's like, nah, this dude sucks.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
But even if that didn't happen, it's like...
Whew.
Sorry.
Yeah, bless you.
Folks at home, sorry about that. Blow your eardrums out.
See, you go out and get COVID. Now I'm gonna kick you out of my apartment.
You gave me COVID, god dang it!
I told you not to go out, bro.
You gave me COVID. I had to go out. It was your dad's thing.
Hey, don't point at me.
You gave it to me.
I'm gonna point you 13 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
No,
8,
stop.
9, 10, 11, 12, 14.
One more.
14.
No, but that
Okay.
I don't.
Yeah. So Buddy told me that happened, and I was like, yeah. Because I met all these people, I knew the guy too, and I didn't think he was like crazy like that, but I also knew him before COVID, right? So I knew a lot of people who changed during COVID, really like took it to the extreme. Like I'm not hanging out with you, and it's not because I don't like you. It's just I just can't risk it.
Right.
It's like I get it, but like taking it to an extreme, it's like I get that. But then breaking his own rule and giving everyone COVID, that's like, dude, there's hypocrisy. Now it's like, you gotta...
You never apologize.
You're an asshole.
Yeah, exactly. You didn't apologize. You're kicking him out for being upset.
You gotta hold yourself accountable.
Yeah.
Like, at some point, you gotta have that realization that, like, damn, I fucked up.
Yeah.
But, hey.
So, the thing is, whenever I hear these kind of arguments, I always like, okay, there's three sides of the coin, right? There's your side, there's the other person's side, and then there's the truth. Right? Does that make sense? You know how like the coin has the little edges on the it's a metaphorical side. Alright, damn, chill out. Can I just make a metaphor without people questioning me? But you get what I'm saying, right? Like, so there's your side, there's their side, and then there's the truth.
It's Tails' body.
But in this case, like, dude, I'm trying to rationalize it for the person that booed them out, dude. Like, there is no excuse for that, like, at all. Like, would you do that to your kid? Would you do that to your family? You wouldn't do that to like anybody else. So like that's where my moral compass comes in. Like, would I do this to my own children? Would I do this to my grandma? Like, no, that's fucking wrong. And like, who would ever be a part of the side of the guy being a hypocrite? And like if that guy reached out to me and I was the one that got booed out, dude, like I wouldn't pick up your phone call, bro. Like, I don't need you in my life, bro. Like you kind of fucked me over, along with my friend.
I mean, keep in mind this is one side of the story.
That's what I'm saying.
So it's like. The truth is somewhere in the middle, I'm sure,
right.
And maybe he has justifications for whatever he did or whatever his excuses are. I don't know what they are. I just know one side, and I understand.
Said the party was popping.
Yeah, dude, this party was a must.
I had to go to the party.
It's a risk, but I'm willing to take it.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yo, that party better have been popping, bro.
Yeah.
Imagine him going to that party, and the party was just whack. Yeah. It was like a wet towel the whole time. You know what I'm saying? Like, all right. Go back and give everybody.
He risked it. It backfired.
He risked it for the biscuit, and he did not get the biscuit.
And then he took his power as owner of the place to kick him out because, you don't argue with me, and that's where I kind of was like, nah, screw this guy.
Yeah. You
don't get to flex your authority like that, especially it's messed up.
That's just being super fucking shitty, man.
Yeah, I thought.
I mean,
too.
There's no excuse, bro. I can't think of an excuse. I really can't. I can understand maybe if he had went out to drive his mom to like the hospital.
Yeah, I don't know
or something, right? But to go to a fucking party and like, I remember when COVID happened, everybody condemned people for going to party and all that shit, and then that was like the social norm. Like, the risk, but then like what the fuck are y'all doing, gathering all these people into a single spot and then like just making it like 20 times worse. So yeah, man, that's a crazy story. Appreciate you sharing that, man.
Yeah.
I think I might have heard this before, but with all the details, it's a bigger story now, so I kind of get it. It's crazy. Well, you got anything else? You, Nick,
Um,
you good?
unless you have something.
No, I think right now might be like a good stopping point. Yeah, I just want to say that I'm blessed to have my friends and everybody to be on the podcast, and I'm just really grateful.
Yeah.
You had to be grateful. Sometimes you had to like just pause, smell the flowers, acknowledge like how blessed you are, and like keep the ball rolling from there.
Appreciate you having us.
And again, thank you my middle school friends for getting me all of these. Especially this one. I like this one.
No, good job, guys. You did.
Yeah. Hold on, let's see. I think you might be able to see it clearer if this thing is off, but it's a side duck.
That's side.
It's a side duck. It's a side duck with the little headset on
I
it.
see it.
Yeah. Well, with the lighting and all that stuff, it doesn't look good. Yeah, but it's cool. So yeah, going forward, all these posters and stuff are interchangeable. So next week I'll probably change posters, and yeah, it's gonna be dope, man. I got a few more stuff coming in, so next podcast is gonna be a little more entertaining. I'm working on ways to make this more interactive and stuff like that, and then I do take in criticism. So if after this, I'm willing to I want to hear you guys like what can I do to improve, and if you're still watching this, and like, subscribe, and I appreciate you tuning in as long as you did. If you think there's anything I should work on, please put it down in the link or put it down in the comment. I'll be sure to read it, and I do take in criticism, and I want the community to be part of this, and you'll see the changes if you ask the right thing, I guess. So yeah. So one last thing, we did change our outro. It is no longer suck dick and get cucked.
Yo, when was that? Whoa! Wait, who did I miss?
You were there. Well, you were there.
No, that was Ant.
No, you were there. No, you were there. All right.
Okay, but
post editing, Tony, play the clip.
Suck dick. Do I have a motto? I'm just kidding. Yeah, suck dick. I only have
Suck dick. Suck dick and get cucked.
anything and everything.
Play the clip.
Talking about trauma, maybe I just blocked that out.
Nah. You were definitely there. But yeah, it is no longer a suck dick and get cucked. It is now over and out. Is that cool? Oh, yeah, you don't have to, but I do it.
Okay.
Over.
Do we do it at the same time?
Yeah, but over and out.